This week on Football Addicts, Charlton make it 2 out of 2.
Gets past Baines brilliantly, surely being held back, gets the cross in, Bent! Brilliant! Darren Bent caps a brilliant week.
Kishishev eyes a return to Europe.
Our ambitions is to qualify for Europe. Of course it will be better to be Champions League, but UEFA Cup is still a good target for us.
An ex-Charlton favourite Paul Walsh talks to Talal El Karkouri.
I'm fine at this moment, so I play 90 minutes. I'm okay. I'm really fit to play. So I think it's not my decision; it's Kerr's decision to pick me to play the game.
But first, let's take a look at last week's highlights of Charlton's first home game of the season against newly promoted Wigan Athletic.
Wigan to kick off. It's the first time these two clubs have ever been in the same division in English football. The first ever meeting between the sides. An unknown quantity then in many respects. So Tony, even though I know you're not a gambling man, heaven forbid, where's your money today?
Well, put me on the spot straight away, Gary. I think if I were to have a bet, it would be on Charlton. Obviously home advantage, experience in the Premiership. And Wigan, after a great start last week, which really should have been rewarded with a point, were beaten by Chelsea. Let's hope it hasn't dented their confidence.
Good header by Ayaan Dezeu. Fantastic return to Wigan he had against Chelsea last weekend. Man of the match. This is Herman Radostin. Looking for Thomas. This is Chimbonda for Wigan. Forward by Bullard. This is Francis. Now Gary Teal. Teal again, pursued all the way by Smertin, and a free kick. Well, Wigan have started the game fairly confidently. They've quietened down the crowd here. This is Teal. Looking for Francis, and Teal has a dig.
Well, that's disappointing. When they do break up attacks, they've got to keep the ball a little bit better. I think they've given it away a couple of times needlessly at the moment, and Marlon's just going to slip Jimmy Bullard in there, because trying to get up to Roberts on his own is going to be a tall order. They've got to keep the ball a little bit better in these areas in midfield. They are outnumbered, but they have to keep it better before they eventually get it up to Roberts, who prefers to be turned round rather than having the ball to his feet.
Danny Murphy. Romadal running at Baines again.
And that's better, Romadal. That's what he's got to do. That's what we all know he's good at. Just stick it past the defender and get your shots in.
Monchot takes his time with the free kick, finds Gary Teal. But Jerome Thomas won that back very easily. Finds Smertin. Now Romadal running at Leighton Baines once again. Still Romadal, just bent in the middle at the moment. Goes back to Kishishev. Nicely done, there's no offside here. Oh dear, Darren Bent heads it away from goal. Romadal in again, real chance here off the crossbar. And again, Young and over the crossbar this time. What an opportunity for Chrissy Powell.
Well, I think Charlton could have been 3-0 up there, Gary, couldn't they? Amazing stuff. Great little bit of play. Luke Young breaks the offside trap, cuts it back, the ball got stuck under his feet. He hits Bent, comes back again into the area, ball's headed back in, onto the bar, and then it comes back again to Chrissy Powell. 2 headers, and he still can't convert it. A little bit unlucky, but you see the ball got stuck under Young's feet. But it was a great run to get behind. But here's the 2 headers from Powell, one onto the bar, comes back to him again, and he can't get that on target. What am I doing up there, he says to himself.
Murphy with the corner. Chimbonda away. Kishishev has a dig. It rebounds to Murphy. Manages to get a cross in, no one attacking it on the near post. Easy for Osho.
I think everyone stopped thinking that Danny wasn't going to get the one in, but crossed it, went through the legs of Man, and as you said, Gary, no one coming in on it at all.
Alexei Smirtin with the throw to Danny Murphy. Gets past Baines brilliantly, surely being held back, gets the cross in, Bent! Brilliant! Darren Bent caps a brilliant week. 2 goals last weekend, an England call-up, and now a goal on his home Premier League debut.
And what a great time to score as well, right on the break. Great play by Danny Murphy. He holds off Baines. He's much stronger than Baines on that right-hand side. You can see he gets it in a tight situation. He's virtually got him hanging on his back, but he holds him off, and gets his cross in, stands it up on the far post. There's Baines. Sorry, there's Bent up above Teal, and that's not a good challenge. A wide midfield player coming back, and it's an easy header for Darren Bent on the far side. Good goal for Charlton, a great time. But look at this upper body strength. He's waiting for him to commit himself, holds him off quite comfortably, chips it up to the far stick, up and above Teal and into the net. Good goal.
Never one to hide his emotions, Paul Giulizzi, and the frustration etched all over his face on that last shot. Romadal to Smirtin, and he can hit them. McMillan with the throw to the hard-working Bullard. Now Ayan Dezay. Show forward. Straight to Chris Powell. Wigan seemingly devoid of ideas at the moment. This is Radostin Kishishev, the Bulgarian.
She's going into a funny spell, devoid of ideas. Oh, he's onside, Jonathan Yance.
Johansson, a real chance here. Looks for Bent. Oh, off the post. I think that came off the defender last, Azeyev.
At last they stay onside and they nearly make Wigan pay for it.
Hit the woodwork for the second time this afternoon. Bullard out to Taylor. Roberts with the header. Oh, and Baines can't get there on the far post.
Best cross of the game. Great shape on the Ryan Taylor cross there, just getting that one in.
Fourth corner for Wigan. Jimmy Bullard. Leighton Baines is on the far post. Good header away by Young. This is Chimbonda. That's a loose one. Brian Hughes wins it. Now Smirtin. And look at Darren Bent go through the middle. Here is Bent. Away by Collins.
Well, he got a similar goal last week against Sunderland, right at the end of the game on the break. That pace is devastating. A little bit better ball there and he was in on goal.
And this is just where the Charlton fans want the ball to be. Deep into stoppage zone. Luke Young has Smirtin. Hughes forward. No offside against Johansson, and McMillan shovels it into touch. This is Young, and there's the full-time whistle. It's 2 wins out of 2 for Charlton. Alan Kerbishley, a very happy man.
Chris, comfortable afternoon for you boys at the back?
Yeah, fairly. I think we went out with a game plan to try and keep the ball really and to put them under a bit of pressure, and it worked well. We created quite a few chances and probably should have won the game by a bigger margin, to be honest.
Probably the only disappointment that you've actually come out with a 1-0 win and actually did create some very, very good chances.
Yeah, I don't think there's any disappointment, but it would have been nice if we could have maybe scored a second and a third, and it would have made our afternoon even a bit easier at the back. It got a bit nervy a couple of times with a few corners and that sort of thing, and you always wonder if they're maybe going to nick a ricochet here or there and get a goal, but I thought that was the only way they were going to score. They weren't really in it, to be honest.
You mentioned the game plan. And was part of that game plan to be patient in possession, because it seemed that it was a fairly slow start looking from the side, and Wigan had a little bit of joy in the first probably 20-25 minutes, but your game plan really did start to work well sort of 15 minutes before.
Yeah, I think we knew they were going to come out and try and put us under a bit of pressure. So I mean, the first sort of 10 minutes we looked to kick it long and turn them and make it a bit of a battle, and then we knew that if we sort of put them on the back foot a bit, that we'd earn the space to play and we could create a few chances and try and sort of cut through them a bit, and it seemed to work well.
Yeah, you moved the ball particularly well from side to side today, I thought, getting it out wide. That seemed to work well for you. Is something else that you've worked on? Or? Yeah,
we've obviously been working on basically trying to play out from the back, really. We did it quite well last week at Sunderland, and we sort of took it on again today, and it seems to be working well. I think eventually some teams are going to become wise to it and maybe start pushing people up and making us kick it long, but I think that's certainly the philosophy of the season we're going to try and play.
And Darren Bent would have been delighted with that goal, a real striker's goal at the far post there.
Yeah, he's come in, done really, really well. He looks like a natural goal scorer. He seems to get in the box and take his chances well.
Yeah, it's very good today. It's a great start, 6 points from 2 games. You must all be very, very pleased with that start.
Yeah, I think if you looked at the 2 games, we'd have certainly been looking at 4 from the 6. I mean, with all due respect to the 2 teams, that they're teams that come up and they often struggle early on, and it was important that we got off to a good start and sort of took advantage of that, and we've done that now, and now we go and play a sort of recognised Premiership team next week at Middlesbrough, and I think it'll be a bit tougher game.
Alan, congratulations. Thank you. What was your view of that performance?
Convincing 1-0, I think. I think Wigan worked ever so hard. They hit us on a break a couple of times, but I think we was inches away on quite a few occasions of making it 2-0 and perhaps finishing the game off. But, you know, it was very difficult, as they showed last week against Chelsea. It was difficult for us, and we needed a breakthrough, and we got it with Darren Bent.
How will it feel to look at the league table tonight?
Well, we've been there before. I think about 5 years ago they printed up the T-shirts, you know, being at the top of it or around the top, and it don't mean nothing. But it is nice that, obviously, that you know, we've had a good start, and it takes us into next week where we'll be 1 game light. You know, we don't play Liverpool midweek, so we're going to next weekend and we'll be a game down. So it was important we got the points today.
What can you say about Darren Bent today?
Well, we're asking him to play a little bit different to he's ever played before, but he could have had a hat-trick. You know, he's obviously scored the header and one-on-one with the keeper. It's nearly the end of the first half, and he's hit the post there. One of the chances we had in the second half, and you know, he's just brought a freshness to the club and, you know, enthusiasm, which is what we was looking for. And if we can give him enough of the ball, I think he can do some damage.
And speaking of enthusiasm, what about Chrissy Powell?
Yeah, I mean, he's come back, and you know, I think he was looking at it. You know, was he going to come back and just bide his time and whatever? But we've had a few injuries, and you know, he's gone straight in there, so he's done ever so well. I think they all did today. You know, Smertin, Danny Murphy. I think we controlled the game without really finishing them off, and when it's like that, you know, you're worried you're going to get on a break or set plays going to go against you, but in the end, as I said, I think it was a convincing 1-0.
You've been in Paul Jewell's position as a newly promoted manager. Do you feel sympathy for him at the moment?
I know exactly what he's going through. His team has worked their socks off for the last 2 games and been beat 1-0 twice. So, you know, they've got to obviously get on with it. There's a game midweek, it can turn around that quickly, but I think they've showed enough in the 2 games that they've got enough about them to pick points up, and you know, I think that today, the longer it went on without us scoring, you know, growing confidence, and they may have nicked something. But as I said, I think we had the best of the chances, and you know, couldn't quite finish them off.
That was Charlton winning 1-0 at home to Wigan last week. Time though to look at the latest round of fixtures from the FAPL. Debut boy Milan Baros scored the only goal of the game as Aston Villa secured their first win of the season against Blackburn. New Everton signing Phil Neville was sent off as Everton crashed at Craven Cottage. Man City kept their good form going, Andy Cole scoring in their win at home to Portsmouth. Tottenham, looking for their first league win against Chelsea in almost 2 decades, went down 2-0, though the home side had Mido controversially sent off after 20 minutes. Bolton beat West Ham despite the efforts of Teddy Sheringham, while Wigan Athletic gained their first win ever in the top flight of English football against thrice-beaten Sunderland. No surprise then to see the champions Chelsea heading the league table, but Stuart Pearce must be absolutely delighted to see Man City in second, Bolton are in third. No points for Sunderland, who are rock bottom of the Premier League, while Newcastle manager Graham Souness is under intense pressure, despite the fact that the Magpies have played just 2 games. Bulgarian midfielder Radostin Kishishev is one of Charlton's longest-serving squad members, joining the club for a bargain £300,000 nearly 6 years ago. Neil Webb went to meet the 31-year-old.
Season started very well for Charlton.
Yeah, looks like very well, and 2 wins from 2 games is a very good very good for Charlton and for our fans.
How are you settling into a 5-man midfield system?
Everything is all right. We done this last year. Now we put Alex Met in middle instead of Matty Holland because he's injured, and we did all right at the moment and play well, do something special during the game, and everything is fine at the moment.
We've got a tough game on Saturday, Middlesbrough away. They're pretty indifferent at times, but looking forward to it?
Yeah, against Middlesbrough is always tough. Doesn't matter where we play, and we get 1 point last year from Riverside, and we play very well. Hopefully we get something this Sunday.
I mean, overall, for the whole, looking at the whole season, is the main objective for Charlton to get into the UEFA Cup spot?
Yeah, our ambitions is to qualify for Europe. Of course, it would be better to be Champions League, but but UEFA Cup is still a good target for us, and we need to get more wins to qualify, not only good playing.
Coming up after the break, former Valley favourite Paul Walsh chats to Talal El Karkouri. Don't go away. Addicts defender Talal El Karkouri has started the season on the treatment table, but the former Paris Saint-Germain player is fit once more and ready for action. Paul Walsh reports.
Talal, 90 minutes in the reserves midweek. How is the injury?
I'm fine at this moment, so I play 90 minutes. I'm okay. I'm really fit to play. So I think it's not my decision; it's Gerb's decision to pick me to play the game.
What, the only decision is whether or not you need one more game, or you're actually ready right at this moment? Yeah.
Of course, I'm sure. I need some more two friendly games to have, you know, the tempo and to be really fit 100%. I'm very lucky because we have an international game next week, so maybe it will be the second game. I hope I will be okay.
So, being a defender, can you describe to us how good you think that Darren Bent can be for Charlton this season?
I think Gerbs, he brought some young players. They have good quality. He's quick, he's clever, he scores. So that's why I think Gerbs, he brought him from Ipswich.
Yeah. He's certainly had a great start to the season. He's only a young player. Do you feel that there's too much expectation on him because he's had a very good start?
I hope he's gonna score for too many goals this season. I can't say he could score 20 or 25 this season, but he has enough quality to play in Premiership, and I think it's a good signing for Charlton.
On Sunday you play Middlesbrough, and Mark Viduka's come into some very good form. You must have played against Viduka a few times yourself. How do you rate him?
I think he's strong, he holds the ball, so he's not quick, so he's just strong, and he got enough experience in this Premiership.
Do you feel that Europe is a realistic target for Charlton this season?
I hope so. That's why I think Gerbs, he brought some new faces to the team. We started very well this season with the 2 winning games. I hope that we are looking for something this season, for something better than last season, because last season in the end we struggled a lot. We lost too many points, especially at home. So we have to be careful. We have to avoid the same things which has happened last season.
Yeah, I did want to talk to you about that, because as soon as Charlton seem to get to that threshold where they're safe, is it psychological or is it an ambition thing? How do you see that?
I asked the same question for the old player who play for Charlton too many years here. They can't find any answer about that. I was very surprised last season as well, because I spent 12 months here, so I have seen everything in close to my eyes. It's very strange. I don't know why.
Well, I don't either. That's why I was asking you. But it's a weird question, because I don't know whether looking at the games that there's a relief at getting to that stage of the season, but then is that real ambition for the players, and that's why maybe with new players, fresh blood at the club, that they can really make that extra push to maybe go for Europe.
I hope so. I hope so. We are looking for a good season this year.
Just about wraps it up for all you football addicts this week. Don't forget that CATV is bringing you full coverage of Middlesbrough against Charlton. Middlesbrough thrashed Birmingham 3-0 at St Andrews last Wednesday. Charlton have won both of their first 2 games. It promises to be a classic, so please check your local broadcaster listings for times. But until next week, goodbye.